Aye! Ooh, wow! What a day again! So today FTX, SBF, Caroline, CZ, and crypto business. This is Don Kryptonium. Make sure you like this video and you comment on this video, sharing your opinion because this is fascinating day, and crypto never disappoint. And I want to remind you one thing: the more your colon gets abused, the healthier your colon is becoming. So how to make it in crypto when everyone abusing the colon? I will also give you advice on this, and this is not financial advice, but it will be great advice. So what is happening? It appears that FTX is getting liquidated. So I want to tell you how we get to this spot. Although I'm not the expert, but I will try to speculate how we got into this spot that FTX is in this deep hole that is potentially much larger than you might think. Now we're assuming that Binance is going to buy FTX, but let's wait. Let's see, because maybe the hole is so grand and there is so much crime involved, financial crime, that the Binance might not simply do it. So don't stay certain. And I think there might be crime, especially involving Alameda Research. I do think there was strange things going on. So we were in the bull market, and we had this exchange FTX. Founded by SBF, extremely successful, making huge money. But it's always easy to make huge money in the bull market. It's always easy to give great advices when everything goes up, because the money is created out of thin air and everything goes to speculative assets, so everything just going up. It's easy to be genius then, right? So FTX was very successful, and I actually don't think they were genius traders. I think at some point they were using their position, the insider position, to manipulate the market and also benefit greatly from this. I don't think that many people can trade successfully. You can think it happens, but it always somehow ends the same way. Why? I think there was some weird shit going on. Alameda was based in Hong Kong before FTX2, big money laundering capital. Maybe not anymore. I'm not sure. But you see, even Caroline was saying they would check the sentiment of people and just play against them, abuse them, and use their position to just really benefit heavily because they were insiders. It's not because they were geniuses, So they made a lot of money in the bull market. Then the bear market happens. And, the interesting thing with the people and with all centralized crypto companies, they just start fucking gambling. They will do leverage, massive leverage, like Celsius. They just fuck with you, take leverage, gamble with your money. 3AC, Luna, Ponzi. Although Ponzi, I feel like honest Ponzi, And FTX then using the position, because everyone is going bankrupt, right? But there is one player. There is big player Binance. How you can take on the Binance? Hey, let's now leverage and let's buy everyone. Let's buy all the competition to build the empire, because we need to win this war, okay? Then I tell you something. Then they feel like, hey, it might be working. It might be working. So then you have blockchains like Aptos. That is nothing but the code and white paper with no application built on that. And then FTX deciding to invest at the valuation of $3 billion in speculative asset. So how they do it? They take leverage against their own token that isn't backed by anything, okay? And then they get in big trouble, because if the market becomes volatile, it can spike the liquidation, how you call it, spiral? I don't know. So let's go through some tweets. I said, is Alameda FTX trading geniuses more likely nerds who manipulate the market? Of course, someone accusing me of my brain being not as big, but I tell you something, to make it in life, you don't need big brain, and I'm happy with my brain, okay? Because you can be honest and you can actually make it, so we will address this a little bit later. Few days ago, Caroline, very confident, a few notes on the balance sheet info that has been circulating recently, because people find out the balance sheet and like 50% of the balance sheet was in the FTT token. That specific balance sheet is for a subset of our corporate entities because they fucking acquire tons of equities, but probably with the debt. They did it with the debt. We have over 10 billion of assets that aren't reflected there. Tell me, what are your 10 billions of assets that are bought with 10 billions of a debt? What is this? Caroline. And it ended the way it ended, you know, and this is really interesting case of CZ I'd like to discuss, because Binance been on, it seems the Binance been on a very honest game here, but of course we don't know, because we don't know balance sheet of Binance as well, right? Maybe one day. But I tell you, never be fully confident about someone's balance sheet. But I feel Binance played it safe. And Binance's strategy was not as aggressive, but hey, let's focus on the markets that actually need our product and give them access instead of buying out everyone and trying to bribe the policymakers, because that's what SBF was trying to do. So SBF very quickly, as he find out about the hole that is in the FTX, he decided to liquidate the FTT holdings, you see? So he transferred the tranche of over $500 million of FTT token, where like he was said confidently that they will buy out for $22, because how they would buy out? Probably with more credit. So once the CZ said, Binance received 2.1 billion USD equivalent in cash, BUSD and FTT. So CZ start liquidating that, and Caroline is saying, hey, don't do it, we will buy it out at $22. What was her plan? Her plan was probably raise $2 billion, because they didn't have this money, quickly overnight, and buy this out so we don't cause the spiral. Unfortunately, the balance sheet was public. No one wanted to invest into this anymore. And here's the problem. So the CZ dumping it on the market, creating the massive liquidation spiral and the problem. So within 2 days, you know, through the war, the SBF turned into thank you Binance, I kiss your shoes, thank you for saving us. So let's see some of the CZ tweets, and this is very valuable lessons. 2 big lessons. Never use a token you created as collateral. This is great advice, right? Luna, you can't do it. You can't use your token, and this seems such obvious thing, but the easiest way to get shady funding is actually to do this, because you print your token out of thin air and use it as the collateral, but it will end quickly. Don't borrow if you run a crypto business. Don't use capital efficiently. Have a large reserve. So you see, in many crypto projects, you can see them going from small size to massive size. And this scaling issue is troublesome. If you grow too fast, you'll blow up if you try to do it. Like, I know it feels great because everyone makes a lot of money, but you cannot scale too fast. You need to scale efficiently, and the same relates to everything, right? If your GDP will heat up and your GDP grows with 20% a year, it will overheat and you will get inflation at the end, because the consumer prices will skyrocket. So you always get in troubles when you just like overheat and scale too fast. All crypto exchanges do but Binance said they never have reserves in the BNB token. Like they use it as the trading token, which is great, but they don't hold it as the reserves. They never use it as the collateral. So this is really good thing they doing. But once again, we don't really know. So Binance says has around 8 billion in ETH. Binance is also one of the largest holder of Bitcoin, probably double that. So Binance reserves are still highly related to the crypto, but seems they are much more secure. But I wouldn't bet that they don't have their own holes, because you can create easily hole. Imagine that someone play on Tether, right, and cause the liquidation spiral. And then Binance maybe gets in trouble because Tether is a very popular trading pair on the Binance. Wow. Boring video, right? Just try to cover that shit. I feel like CZ was such a patient guy building the business despite growing very fast. They don't try to do this crazy moves that SBF is doing. And will SBF and Caroline go to prison? I feel quite likely. Maybe not quite likely. It is possible. The question is, if you see the key is in the FTX, this afternoon FTX asked for our help. There is a significant liquidity crunch to protect users. Does it mean they played with user money? It looks like what FTX and Alameda was doing. They were using your money to gamble on the market. How fucked up is this? So if this is the case, like this SBF, he might do a few years in prison if that's the case, right? And there will be many people going to prison. And you might think there is nothing wrong, but this is a crime. You can't do it. You can't use user money and gamble with this. So everyone assumed that Binance is going to buy FTX. I saw weird numbers of so first of all, minimum haul is probably 2 billion, but it can be 6 billion, right? So if there is 6 billion haul, and this business doesn't really generate revenues, I feel CZ will leave the business, because I don't think Binance is doing stupid moves. Binance doing very calculated moves. So this is about this. Let's go further, okay? And let's go to Binance, because many people often speculated that Binance is Chinese equity. It never was registered in China, but can China outplay everyone? I don't know. So let's see what CZ had to say. You see, CZ parents left China because of the abusive system, and it happened in '89. If you know what happened in '89, 4th of July, Tiananmen Square crime, essentially killing of the students, suppressing the opposition, suppressing the people. So on August 6, 1989, my mother and I left China and emigrated thousands of miles away to Canada. For those who know Chinese history, this is 2 months after the events of June 4, 1989. I was 12 years old, so he doesn't really say what happened. But you can easily Google Tiananmen Square massacre. So if CZ would be tied to China, would they allow him to say this? Maybe they would allow him to say this because China maybe is playing clever strategy game, but maybe it's not, but who knows? In 2005, the tech industry started to explode in China, so I went to Shanghai to launch an IT startup together with 5 other experts, 2 Americans, 2 Brits, 1 Japanese, and me, Canadian. So he's Canadian. He's using Canadian passport. why not Chinese passport? China doesn't allow for dual nationality, so if he's officially going with Canadian passport, that would be it. But also as the Chinese, China would accept him back, because this is ethno state. So I don't know. This would be quite funny. Like if that would end up to be kind of like supporter of CCP, seems unlikely. So how is Binance winning? While everyone, Coinbase, FTX, trying to please the policymakers in United States, Binance decided to go other route. Like, let's not fight this game. Let's acquire the rest of the world, right? Crypto is huge in Asia. Like in fact, most of trading comes from Asia, and that's how Binance got this massive market share, right? You can also see that when it comes to the advertising, Binance was much more conservative than FTX, Crypto.com. They were like throwing commercial spots, buying stadiums. Binance just doesn't do it. It seems like this way of promotion is not really effective. Okay, so that's the interesting part. But at the end, I want to tell you, what I want to tell you? I want to tell you how to make it in crypto, because it will happen over and over. Maybe you started listening to influencers like BitBoy Crypto, Lark Davis, Journey, Elliot Trades, whoever is there. You should never listen to them, because they just run business, and this business is often related to the sponsorships. This business is often related to the shilling, because they can make a lot of money going this way. In fact, they have script writers. They're not very clever, at least not even close when it comes to Don Kryptonium cleverness. So you say like how to make money, then should you trust exchanges? No, you shouldn't trust, because in all this mess you can see that the protocols were extremely resilient, and you can put the protocols that maybe not so heavily VC funded, Cosmos, even Juno, right? Like they drop in price, but they work, and they don't collapse, because this is different business models. So the crypto protocols work while the companies go bankrupt. Maybe you should focus on there. Maybe you should learn the programming language and do something. Maybe you are a good community person and you can get engaged as the community person. Sometimes you can speculate on them and you will be, sometimes you will be lucky. So do you have to be really the scam to make it in crypto? I tell you my history. At the end, I made this channel, decided, hey, I'm going against these crypto influencers. I'm just gonna shit on them because it's all nonsense. And people came and people say, I'm jealous, okay? But I got engaged in the communities. I kept making videos, and these videos never were sponsored. These videos never made money or anything like this. But I learned I can provide value. Sometimes I can make tutorials for projects, then they reward me with some tokens, right? But I make this on their page. I don't even have to shield them. I just help them put education about something. Then a month ago, I moved somewhere else, and I've been living on savings for 2 years making this content. And I just tweeted, hey, I'm looking for a job. And guess what? I got the message from the CEO of Stargaze, dude, I want to give you a job, don't accept any offers. And I was free to choose my own salary, which don't think I'm paid chill getting money. I was like, I want to provide my value and teach people about certain stuff in crypto, and I want to calculate the value, being the salary I got is way below US average, just way below. You can make more money flipping burgers, to be honest. But it's because I don't do it for money. And I feel maybe it's so fucking weird. But I just fucking like the space. I like the drama. I like shit posting. I like the NFTs. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I record this video. So stop following these people, guys, because You too can be a hero. You too can be honest. Try to be honest, try to be yourself, and it still can work out for you. This is the mission. This is Don Kryptonium. And I hope you will see it one day, okay? With that, Don Kryptonium's out. Always think for yourself. Never trust anyone, because somewhere there is always big financial hole. Don Kryptonium's out. Till the next time.